Welcome back to Let's Chat, Iterable's weekly download on the marketing moments that matter. This week, we're breaking down a topic that's foundational, but often overlooked, email deliverability. Because no matter how great your message is, it can't drive impact if it never reaches the inbox. So let's get into it. Deliverability is the unsung hero of moments-based marketing. It's how your message earns the right to be seen. But before we dive deeper, let's clear up one common mix-up: deliverability versus delivery.
Yeah, that's a really important distinction to make right off the bat. People mix them up all the time. So delivery, that's pretty straightforward. It just means, did the email server successfully send the message? Like, did it leave the building?
Okay, so it was sent. Check.
Exactly. But deliverability, well, that's the tricky part. That's about where it actually ended up. Did it land in the main inbox, promotions tab, or, the dreaded spam folder?
Yeah, okay. So sending isn't the same as arriving in the right place.
Not at all. And that destination, getting into the inbox, that depends heavily on things like list hygiene, how clean your lists are, your send frequency, and critically, how much your subscribers actually engage with your emails.
Right.
And understanding those factors, that's really the core mission for this deep dive, making sure messages land where they matter.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Most of us probably don't think about deliverability until, well, it's already a problem. Open rates suddenly drop, or you get a spike in complaints, and by then the damage is already done, right?
So that's exactly it. It's a reactive approach, like waiting for the check engine light before you even think about getting an oil change.
Yeah.
By the time you notice the problem, your sender reputation might already be hurt. And that reputation, think of it like your email passport. If it gets stamped suspicious, mailbox providers might just block your future emails before they even get a chance.
Oof. Okay, so waiting is definitely not the strategy. You need to build the right foundation from the start.
Absolutely. Foundation is key. And that really starts with getting your authentication sorted out. It's like building trust with the mailbox providers.
Authentication, you mean things like SPF and DKIM?
Precisely. SPF and DKIM, and also DMARC. Google and Yahoo are actually requiring these now. They're not just nice to haves anymore.
Yeah.
So SPF Sender Policy Framework basically tells the world who's allowed to send email pretending to be you. It's like a bouncer with a guest list for your domain.
Okay, checks the ID. Makes sense.
Then DKIM domain keys identified mail adds a kind of digital signature. It proves the email hasn't been messed with in transit and really came from you, like a tamper-proof seal.
Got it. Integrity check.
Right. And DMARC brings it all together. It tells mailbox providers what to do if an email fails SPF or DKIM. Should they junk it? Reject it? Quarantine it? It's your instruction manual.
So without these, you're basically shouting into the void, or worse, looking suspicious from the get-go.
Pretty much. Your emails can just get blocked outright. It's non-negotiable these days.
Here's where it gets really interesting. What happens if you're using a brand new IP address? Say you're just starting out or switch providers. You can't just unleash all your emails at once, can you?
Oh, definitely not. That's a fast track to getting flagged as spam. You have zero reputation with a new IP.
Right.
Mailbox providers don't trust you yet, so you have to do what's called an IP warm-up.
Warm-up, like stretching before a run.
Exactly like that. You start slow, send a small volume, see how it goes, monitor engagement opens, clicks, bounces, complaints. Then you gradually increase the volume over time.
How long does that usually take?
Generally, plan for about 4 to 6 weeks. It takes time to build that trust, show you're a legitimate sender, sending mail people actually want. And a general rule of thumb: try not to send more than, say, 1 to 1.5 million emails per dedicated IP per day, especially during that warm-up.
Okay, 4-6 weeks. Start slow, ramp up carefully. Got it.
And another really important foundational piece is splitting your message types.
Splitting them. How so?
Keep your transactional emails things like order confirmations, password resets, shipping updates on totally separate infrastructure from your marketing emails.
Why is that so important?
Well, a couple reasons. First, compliance. Marketing emails legally have to have an unsubscribe link. Transactional ones usually don't.
Right.
But more strategically, it protects your essential messages. If, say, your marketing campaign hits a snag, gets some spam complaints, you don't want that dragging down the deliverability of your critical password resets or order confirmations.
Okay. Risk management. Keeps the important stuff flowing reliably.
Exactly. It protects that core customer experience.
So what does this all mean for someone choosing an email service provider? Sounds like you need more than just a platform that sends emails.
Absolutely. This is a huge strategic decision. You need an ESP with a really robust and flexible platform, one that can handle, massive amounts of data at scale, especially if you want to do real-time personalization.
Like adjusting content based on what someone just did.
Precisely. Look for things like a strong metadata store, sometimes called a catalog, that lets you access product info or content easily without having to duplicate tons of data on every single user profile. It's foundational for doing that kind of advanced personalization efficiently. Choosing the right ESP partner is critical here.
That's a lot to consider for the foundation, but once you've got the tech right, you still got to think about who you're sending to.
Yeah.
And it turns out bigger isn't always better.
You've hit on a huge point there. So many marketers are focused purely on list size, on volume, but honestly, the quality of your audience is just as crucial, maybe even more so than how big the list is.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. And that brings us to list hygiene. Keeping your lists clean is absolutely critical. It impacts your inbox placement, your domain reputation, and honestly, just basic customer happiness. If you're sending to people who don't want it or to bad addresses, mailbox providers notice.
So how do you stay proactive with cleaning?
Several ways. Simple stuff first. Using double opt-in when people sign up. That confirms they really want your emails.
Good filter.
Definitely. Using tools like reCAPTCHA to block bots from submitting fake addresses on your forms, that saves headaches later.
Right. Keep the junk out from the start.
And then the obvious, automatically removing addresses that hard bounce, the ones that just don't exist. No point sending there. But the really key part is engagement-based pruning.
Meaning looking at who's actually opening and clicking.
Yes. Regularly identifying and either suppressing or removing subscribers who consistently ignore your emails, people who haven't opened or clicked in, say, 6 months or a year, depending on your sending frequency.
And it sounds scary to some people, cutting down the list size.
It does. But holding on to those disengaged users actively harms your sender reputation. They drag down your overall engagement rates, which is a big signal to mailbox providers. Plus, they're the ones most likely to eventually mark you as spam out of annoyance.
This really drives home that point, doesn't it? That feeling of more is better is actually working against you sometimes.
It absolutely is. It's probably one of the biggest aha moments for marketers struggling with deliverability. More isn't more. Better is better. A smaller, engaged list always beats a massive list that's hurting your inbox placement and full of people who don't care.
Okay, focus on the fans, basically.
You got it. Quality engagement is the name of the game.
So we built the right foundation, and we're keeping our lists clean. Now, how do we make sure our messages are hitting the mark at exactly the right time for each individual, making it relevant?
Right, because great deliverability now really hinges on what you send, who you send it to, and crucially, when it actually hits their inbox. We're way past just batch and blast emails.
Goodness.
Yeah, marketers are now using AI and real-time data to manage potentially millions of unique, personalized conversations all at once. And that requires real adaptability in 3 areas. First, the right message. This means using live data, showing products that are actually in stock right now, or maybe local store availability, or promotions that are currently active.
Dynamic content.
Exactly. And this is where having an ESP with that robust metadata store we talked about, like Iterable's catalog feature, really shines. It makes it easier to pull in that relevant product or content info without complex data management on the user profile itself. Match the person to the right content easily. Second, the right audience. Go beyond just demographics. Target based on behavior. What have they browsed? What's in their cart? What did they buy last time?
So reacting to what they do, not just who they are.
Precisely. You need strong segmentation capabilities in your ESP for this, finding patterns in the data to personalize more deeply.
And third, the right time. I have to ask about the old 9 a.m. on Tuesdays rule. Is that completely dead?
Ha! Yeah, pretty much. Consumers are all on their own schedules now, right? Checking email on their phone, whatever.
Sure.
So relying on automation and AI, things like send time optimization features, which some platforms offer, is key. These tools look at individual user habits and predict the best time to send to that specific person to maximize the chance they'll see it and engage.
Meeting them when they're active, not when we think they should be.
Exactly, whether that's 6 a.m. Saturday or 10 p.m. Wednesday. And actually, there's an interesting wrinkle emerging here. Non-human engagement.
Non-human, like bots.
Sort of. We're seeing AI tools that people use to summarize their inbox or analyze email content. These tools often click links in the emails as part of their process.
Oh, wow. So clicks might not actually be from a real interested person.
Correct, and those clicks get logged just like real user clicks. So it's becoming really important to have ways to filter out that non-human activity. Otherwise, you might misread your performance thinking a campaign is doing better than it is.
Okay, that's a bit mind-bending. Our emails are being read by analysis bots.
Welcome to the future. It means we need to be smarter about interpreting our own data.
That's a fascinating twist with the AI clicks. What's the biggest takeaway here for navigating this increasingly complex landscape?
I think the main takeaway is that deliverability is just going to keep getting more nuanced, more complex, especially as AI evolves. So when you're choosing tools, look for AI solutions that are, transparent about how they work. Ones that are customizable to what you need and that integrate well with the rest of your tech stack. Flexibility and transparency are key.
This is all about making sure our messages are received and valued. But sometimes, even after all this effort, users just go quiet. They stop opening, stop clicking. What then? Do we keep sending, just keep hoping?
That's a really tough but critical question. And usually the answer is no, you shouldn't just keep sending indefinitely. Email really shouldn't be a one-way megaphone.
Right.
Every single email you send to someone who's clearly inactive or disengaged actually chips away at your sender reputation. It tells mailbox providers, hey, this sender's content might not be relevant anymore.
It's like sending mail to an empty house.
Exactly. And remember that stat. 43% of people say getting too many emails is the main reason they unsubscribe. Sending to disengaged folks just increases the odds they'll finally hit spam or unsubscribe out of annoyance.
So what's the plan for those inactive users?
You need a plan. First, try a re-engagement campaign, but keep it short, maybe 3 to 5 emails max.
What kind of emails?
Could be reminding them of the brand value, maybe offering an exclusive discount, asking for feedback. Give them a few clear chances to show interest again. Open, click, visit the site.
Okay, a final chance to win them back.
Right. But if that doesn't work, you really need to move towards sunsetting them strategically.
Sunsetting?
Yeah.
Sounds gentle, but it means stopping sending to them, right?
Yes. Holding on to those inactive users just hurts you over time. It drags down your engagement metrics, which damages your reputation. You could send a final survey asking about preferences or just quietly stop sending if they remain inactive or if you see spam complaints from that group.
Let them go peacefully.
Basically. And don't forget other channels. Maybe try reaching out via SMS or a push notification or even WhatsApp if you use it. Those can sometimes be lower pressure ways to re-engage without hurting your email reputation. Good platforms let you orchestrate across these channels.
This feels counterintuitive to some marketers, doesn't it? To let go of subscribers. We're trained to grow the list at all costs.
It really does feel counterintuitive, but it's essential. You have to shift that mindset. Holding on to disengaged users isn't just sentimental, it's actively harming your reputation and wasting resources. Chasing vanity metrics like list size doesn't help if your emails aren't landing in the inbox.
So it's not realistic to win everyone back.
Not at all. Don't be afraid to sunset subscribers who aren't engaging. The goal is to focus your time, your energy, your resources on the customers who are eager, who do want to hear from you. Delight your biggest supporters. That's where the real value is.
Inbox placement isn't just a technical hurdle, it's a brand enabler. Nail your setup, keep your list clean, personalize with purpose, and know when to say goodbye. And if you want some more guidance on how to reach the inbox every time, download Iterable's Deliverability 101 Toolkit, your paint-by-numbers guide, build, maintain, and maximize inbox impact.
That's all for this week's episode of Let's Chat Deliverability. We'll catch you right back here next time, same place, same chat.